question has been coming up a lot lately, and I think now would be a perfect time to answer it, and that is, what roles do black celebrities play when it comes to issues of race in America? Now let me get straight to the real. Black celebrities have no obligation to speak out on issues of race. You can't force someone to take any political stances or to care about something or be passionate about a cause if they don't want to. And with that being said, you shouldn't push any celebrity to speak out on issues of race solely on the basis of them being black. Because not all of them can express what a lot of black people in this country are feeling. Not all of them are genuine in their claim to care about the black community or even truly understand the issues within it. And a lot of them are already poisoning the young minds of a lot of black people with their various forms of self-hate, their exploitation of black women, and their love of money over self-respect.
What do you think needs to be changed in the way black men are policed in America?
Leave that up with the critics and the laws and all that old shit. We having fun, we iced out, we having money. That's how we doing it.
Now we know black celebrities don't speak for all black people, but the stuff they say does hold power and influence. Therefore, we shouldn't even want to put any responsibility in them to discuss issues of race if they're not going to be genuine, if they're not going to be passionate, if they're not going to be cognizant, if they're not politically aware, and if they're so detached from the black community that they don't even remember what it feels like to be followed around in a store or harassed by the police. No positive impact will come from them speaking up. So the question here shouldn't be, should black celebrities speak out? It should be, why don't black celebrities feel the need or moral obligation to speak out? So when you look at black celebrities, try to put them in these three categories. Those that do and say nothing, those that claim to take a stance but don't take action when the opportunity presents itself, and those that are all in, fighting for the cause, down for us. So for the black celebrities that do and say nothing, again, remember, they have no obligation to. So you should then in turn question, why do they choose to stay silent on these issues? Now, just because they're silent doesn't necessarily mean they don't care. Some of them probably want to avoid getting called out for saying Black Lives Matter when they themselves have profited off of glorifying drug dealing and getting bitches and robbing and killing each other. Do you smell the hypocrisy? And then there's Kanye. Some of you guys might hate me for saying this, but I think Kanye had the potential to become the closest thing we were ever gonna get to another Tupac in this generation. And I'm not talking about on a music level or who the better rapper was, that's not even a real conversation. I'm talking specifically about them using their talent and power in one of the most influential art forms on this planet, hip-hop, to passionately talk about racism and social issues, and doing so with that radical mindset and not feeling the need to censor themselves to make white America feel comfortable. And y'all can disagree that all y'all want, but it is what it is, who cares? His rants came from this heartfelt place of pure emotion and intellectual thought, and yes, sometimes they came from his out of this world crazy ego, but for some reason we didn't know how to tell the two apart, and so we decided to treat them all the same, which is really sad because you shouldn't treat a conversation about the government administering AIDS or crack being distributed in black communities the same way you would treat a conversation about who had the better music video between Taylor Swift and Beyonce. But all ego aside, Kanye was there for us. Kanye showed that he cared about black lives, and whether you thought there was any validity to his political rants or not, they were all worth talking about, especially if you are black. And although he could be very reckless with his opinions sometimes, he still had the courage to say what he felt despite the possible backlash. And sometimes he even said what many of us were thinking word for word.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
And how did we respond? We didn't back him up when America pushed him to apologize. We treat Kanye like a toddler throwing a tantrum, and we tell him to go sit in a corner. So now when we feel he should be vocal the most? And I'm not saying it's a good excuse to stay quiet, knowing that he probably has a lot to say, but for some people, you tell them to shut up enough times and eventually they lose the desire to speak. Now, I really started to notice these celebrities during the height of the whole Donald Sterling Clippers racist comment situation. Yeah, the racist comments bothered me, but the players' reactions to it bothered me so much more. Because how I saw it, turning the jerseys inside out to hide the logo was complete bullshit, and a lot of people were fooled by it. As a professional athlete, you're a member of not only a team, but a brand. You basically have the logo tattooed on your forehead until you're no longer associated with that brand. So what these players did was enjoyable to watch.
Now fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
But it was pretty much the equivalent to nothing. Maybe even worse than nothing, because it showed that they were aware of the situation at hand, they clearly felt some type of way, and they still chose to play. Like really, do you think Donald Sterling or anyone else who makes money off these players really gave two shits about them not wearing their logos? Every time they put a ball in the hoop, it's a paycheck to them, so if they really wanted to show that they cared and they honestly felt some type of way about something, they would have walked off the damn court. That whole situation was so stupid to me, and it's funny because basically the same thing is going on now with a lot of black celebrities. You see a lot of them rocking the I Can't Breathe shirts, and they're posting pictures with their hands in the air, and they're using the hashtags, and I'm not gonna knock it because it's definitely great for bringing awareness to the cause, but if you really care as much as you claim to, and you have the ability to do more, why aren't you? And this is where my issue with Oprah comes in. Now keep in mind, I don't hate or dislike Oprah. I think she's a great role model for anyone who wants to succeed in life. But we gotta talk about this OWN network. Miss Oprah, you are arguably the most powerful black person in this country. And as I said before, those who control the media control the mind. And you have your own television network. Now your stats aren't quite there with BET, but you still reach about 83 million households. And you're gonna tell me with all that power in no one's hands but your own, and with you acting, producing, and directing in all these movies specifically about race and slavery, and with you not only being a black person in America but a black woman in America, you mean to tell me that you only have room on your network for Dr. Phil, Tyler Perry sitcoms, and Rachel Ray? Really? You have the perfect platform to air quality television that shows the positives of black culture. You have the ability to promote black-owned businesses to help circulate money in the black community. You have the ability to show that there's more to black culture than what is shown on all other networks. You, just one person alone, have all the power in the world to do just this. But no, you choose to be within that group of black celebrities that cares too much about what white people think. I mean, look at what she said when talking about the Ferguson situation. I think it's wonderful to march and protest, but what I really want to see is some leadership to come out of this. Really? The only black leader higher up than you right now is Obama, and that's only because of his political status. We all know Oprah has done some amazing things, from donating money to starting a girls' school in Africa to helping hundreds of black men get to college. But come on. This isn't me asking you to give the black community a handout. This is me asking you to give the black community an opportunity. Give the floor to some worthy and well-deserved black educators and activists and psychologists and scientists and authors, and not just the same white faces we already see on several other networks. And this is also your opportunity to give a chance to give not only black America, but all of America a side of black culture that isn't surrounded by violence and drugs and sports and music. Despite what the world may think, we have a lot more as a people to offer. You say you want to see more leadership? Well, we're not hiding. Reach down into Ferguson and into Chicago and into Oakland and into New York and into DC and into LA, and look at all the people who are fighting for their rights and the rights of all other people of color. And if you're not going to do that, that's fine. Like I said, you have no obligation to, but don't act like you're trying to when you're clearly not. But Oprah's just one of many examples of black celebrities with this mindset, and you have to keep a lookout for them. For all the celebrities who are down for the cause fighting for us, these are the ones you need to be giving your support to. The J. Coles, the Viola Davises, the Talib Kweli's, the Jesse Williamses, the Lupita Nyong'os, and I'm not fond of his most recent interview, but I'm still rocking with Kendrick Lamar. Show your support for those who are supporting you. Just because a celebrity is black doesn't necessarily mean they're on your side. And lastly, for all of you who are consistently calling out on athletes and celebrities to speak out and do something, just stop. We don't need to wait for them to make a difference. As cliche as it may sound, the power really is in the people. Malcolm X wasn't inspired by a basketball player. The leaders of the civil rights movement wasn't inspired by a rapper. The Black Panther Party didn't try to stop police brutality because of a movie. Asada already said it, black revolutionaries are created by their conditions. So stop thinking we need all these black celebrities to speak up and do something when we're very much capable of doing so on our own. And don't forget, we create celebrities. They need us more than we need them. Wake up.